Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Scenes Bella Podcast. I am your host, Kalai Shireen, and today we have another magnanimous, amazing, awesome, astounding, beautiful guest on today. This is Miss, oh my goodness, I have so many attributes to her name. I'm serious. You can't a person like this, you can't describe them, with these small words. But Miss Aisha Taylor Issa, she is the founder and CEO of Sistahs In Business Expo. She is a former college professor. Oh my God, this lady is astounding. Listen, I'm gonna read because y'all know this is my show and I do what I want to do. So she has been featured in Black Enterprise, Sheen Magazine, NBC, CBS, ABC, all the alphabets, okay? Fox News. She just been around, so I know y'all know who she is. She puts on the biggest expo known to man. I'm telling you, urban women come out and support her. The movement is just amazing. She is now here in Georgia, Duluth, in my area as well. So she is just amazing, guys. This is just a beautiful episode. I can't wait for you guys to hear from her. We're going to clap it up for Miss Aisha Taylor Issa.
I just love you. Thank you so much.
Yes. I'm so happy that you agreed to do this interview. To get people out here, you guys, that are doing big things. And behind the scenes, Bella, we talk about the beauty behind the scenes. People who really are drum majors. People who make things happen. The big shows that y'all see, the displays, the songs y'all love, the movies y'all like. It's people, big bosses behind the scenes that are responsible for what you see. And a lot of the times we don't like all the credit. But this is a place where I want to just highlight this beautiful woman for bringing out so many amazing entrepreneurs, business owners, actresses, all kinds of people, philanthropists that come through your expo. You are just amazing. Like, how do you do that? How do you bring so many people together in your network and your community and get them to support you the way that you do, besides being amazing? Because I know you're amazing.
Well, it takes one to know one, and you are amazing. And I want to, before I answer anything, I want to thank you for first having me today and inviting me to be a part of this amazing podcast and platform. For those of you who don't know, this sister has been supporting our brand since day one.
Yes.
Literally, and I'm so grateful, just beyond words. So I'm in good company.
Yeah,
and
she is. Okay, we got her back.
This journey of the Sistahs In Business Expo has been able to become what it has become because of sisters like you. Because there are so many sisters who've supported us, who have believed in the vision, who have come out and shared their gifts, their talents, who have trusted us with their brands and vetted with us and taken our courses and all those types of things. So it's because of the sisters, and that's why we do it.
And when you said trusted with your brand, you have a store. And right across from Atlantic Station, we took a field trip, you guys, the last time we were there, to her beautiful store. How many brands do you host inside of your store?
Yeah, so we actually have two locations.
Okay.
The one in Atlantic Station is our second location, which will actually celebrate 1 year, Juneteenth weekend. Our first location is in New Jersey at the Jersey Gardens Mall, and that one just celebrated 2 years back in April. So in our stores, we have over 150 around Black women-owned brands who are sold in our stores and online.
Wow. And you deliver for them daily.
We try our best. And to be honest, even before we had stores, because we never dreamed of being in retail. Like, that was all God.
Okay.
We thought we were just going to do expos. COVID is how we got here. That's a whole nother story. But even with the expos from day one, sisters trusted us to host these events where they could sell their products and showcase their services. So it's really the trust of our sisters that has allowed us to grow and add different parts to the brand and ultimately go into retail and all that.
So when you say going into retail, so even with COVID, to have that powerhouse, sustainability, to say that you are now celebrating 2 years at a location and we are just coming out of a pandemic, how did you manage to sustain where people weren't even shopping that much and coming out of the house and they are just afraid to, somebody sneeze wrong, it's a problem.
Yeah. So, it's funny. There were some good and some bad that came out of COVID, of course, right?
Yeah.
And when we ended up going into retail, it was because we couldn't host our expos, right?
Okay.
So we were primarily in event-based businesses, and events have been shut down. So for over a year, we were doing things virtual, but, as the time went on and there was like no end in sight for the pandemic, we were like, well, what are we going to do? At that same time is when the malls started to open back up. In New Jersey especially. So, down in Atlanta, they was wide open. They really shut down too much.
Atlanta was not, they were not law-abiding.
No, I mean, it was no law. Down here, the governor was like, do what you want, But in New York and New Jersey,
but you catch COVID.
In New York and New Jersey, they were not playing. Right. It was, everything was shut down.
Right.
And so when things finally did start to open back up around like January of 2021, once we, started getting the vaccine and stuff, the malls were the first things to open back up in New Jersey. So restaurants were still closed. Other entertaining spaces, bars were still closed, but malls were starting to open back up.
Yeah.
And it was just a prime opportunity for small businesses to get into retail because a lot of stores had closed and shut down.
True.
And they wanted people in those spaces. And so we took advantage of that time and that opportunity. And that's how we ended up getting into retail.
So, and that just sounds amazing to me because you are a mom.
I am
a mom of a little baby.
Yeah,
right.
He's 2.5. When we opened our first store, he was 6 months.
That's just yes, please clap, y'all. That is amazing. 6 months, and you are thinking of this level of innovation and just evolution of how can I make this happen for my lineage, for my child, for my family during that entire process. Like, what would you say to moms that, have young children at this point in time and they're like, well, I'm just coming out of a pandemic. What do I do? Where do you give them a thought process to say, hey, tap in if this is opening up or, this space is available? Where do you get that innovation to say this is where I would look, or how do they go about finding it?
Yeah, we have to be risk takers and we have to have faith. And thankfully, I have always had a strong support system to support me in these risks and in this faith journey. So even with a small son, at the store when we were first opening, in my office we had a playpen, we had toys, like he would come with me, if it was something going on and he couldn't, thankfully we had someone to watch him. But I had to do it because we didn't know what we were gonna do. And, one night I was kind of just at my wit's end and I was like, God, you did not bring me this far to bring me this far. What do you want us to do? And that was really how I got the revelation to try retail. And I'm glad we did. It was definitely a great decision. It has completely changed the trajectory of what we do and how we serve our sisters. And I just hope that one day he'll say he's proud of his mommy.
Oh my God. Listen, he proud right now. I'm going to let you know in baby voice, he is proud. He is proud of you because I'm proud of you. I'm just inspired by you. And just talking about inspiration, like, who would you say is the most inspirational person to you, like, that causes you to like wake up every day and say, Aisha, let's go out here and get it? Like, who does that for you?
Wow, that's a great question. There's a few. One that comes to mind is my mom.
Okay.
My mom is just an amazing little firecracker. My mom has dementia, but she's the strongest woman I know.
Yeah.
She wakes up every day to fight another day, and to try as much as she can to not let the disease get her down.
Yeah.
And keep her down. We also just recently lost my dad.
Yeah.
And they were married, I think over 47 years. And, so just watching her navigate life now without him, when he was such an amazing caregiver to her, she's just a really strong woman. And she's all that.
Oh my God. And that's when you and I first met, we had so much common ground in terms of our parents. And during that time, I was in like one of the hardest places emotionally in my life with losing my stepfather. And then I was writing a big book at the time. And you just kind of came in and was like, sis, you don't even need to do nothing. We just going to bring you right on in. And just having that inspiration, like my mom, she went through the same thing, that dementia, that, the degradation of her mind just going and going to, you just kind of, even if they don't remember you, you just talk to them, and keep on going. But that we share that sweet and tender spots, you know what I mean, with our parents. Yeah.
You don't want to be in, but only people who have been in it can understand.
Absolutely. So I'm just thinking about, so when you tap in with the guests that you bring on, like the people that you highlight when you have these expos, like how do you choose those members? Like what are you looking for to bring towards your audience that they can glean from those people? How do you just strategically select those people that add so much value to the expos? How do you do that?
Yeah, so I kind of have a weird process.
Because the lineup is always great.
I know, and my team probably hates my process because my process doesn't move as quickly as they would like.
Yeah.
I'm very protective of our brand.
Yeah.
So I don't just allow any and everyone to grace our stage or share with our audience. And I'm also very prayerful about
that part. Prayer.
God sends our way.
Yeah.
And I ask him to always send us the right people. Because just because someone, has a lot of followers or makes a lot of money and all that kind of stuff doesn't mean that they're very nice. It also doesn't mean that they are the right fit for us.
Girls.
And we are so anti-mean girls. Our spaces are some of the most loving spaces you could ever be in. So we, so I do a lot of prayer and I do a lot of waiting and kind of discerning. A lot of times it's, just God moving, in the background, connecting me with people, revealing people to me, to, invite them. We do have an application process for those who are interested. So we do review those as well. But even in that, there's prayer in
right
to see, who's
behind the typing. Right.
Yeah. So it's really a combination of those things. And then ultimately, God always comes through and sends us some really great people like you.
Oh, listen, when I tell you, when she's talking about God, y'all, she is not playing around at all, because I was literally driving down 285 and I heard call this woman on the phone. I'm talking about spirit led, and God only talked to me in the spirit about people who are in the spirit. So she in the spirit. Okay, she be sending up some prayers.
I've been in ministry for over 20 years.
I saw that, ordained minister.
We not new to this. We true to this.
Listen, okay.
And
period.
We've been no apologies about being a faith-based business. That's really important.
You said something. You said, did you officiate your father's funeral?
I did.
I
did. I've done my dad, my grandma, my aunt, who was like a second mom. Yeah.
How much strength does that take to get up there and eulogize and still mourn and still...
Supernatural strength. Each time that I've unfortunately had to do that, and I didn't have to, we could have gotten a...
but it was an honor, I can imagine.
Absolutely. And I knew they would have each wanted that.
Yeah.
And so it's a supernatural strength that I really can't describe, but that I lean on God for. Usually the minute I sit down, the strength is gone and I'm a complete mess.
Yeah.
But he holds me up in those moments. And it's just part of ministry. It's part of what I've been called to do. Yeah.
I know that's right. Glory to God. So you moved from New Jersey to Atlanta. Is that correct?
I did.
You made a big move. See, I'm a Philly girl. We was right across the tri-state area.
Yeah, that's crazy. I still can't believe we're both here now.
I know. And in the same area. That's
well, I'm not in Duluth.
You're not in Duluth?
Girl, no. When you said that earlier, I was like, what's she talking about? No, so we hosted our expo in Duluth last year, and it was going to be in Duluth this year, but we changed.
Yeah, because I was like, South is right around the corner.
I know. Sorry, boo. They doubled their price. We was like, gotta go.
And they having it. Sorry, Duluth. We got to change the price.
Yeah. You got to do what's best for the business. Well, I didn't want to, but we had to. So anyway, but no, I'm on the other side of town. I'm on the south side.
Oh, okay. Cool. That is great. Because I was just thinking, I'm like, I know I'm a leaper. I've always been known to just leap. If it works, it doesn't. But hey, it can really work. That's how I think.
If you work it.
Listen.
And you working it.
Look at what you did in this little bit of time we've been here. Look at you. No. Look at what you. Look at what you did. Child, she just blowing up the place. I'm talking about just A-list Aisha, okay? That's what I'm going to call her from now on. A-list Aisha, because she just all over the place, okay? And she everywhere. You ain't never there, okay?
Well, listen, I'm trying to get like you. I want a space. I didn't get me a building. Sister bought the block, and she just got here.
I'm telling you. But listen, it's just like you have to be a leaper. You have to like really believe in yourself to make a move 700 miles away from you where you are, even though I know you have family here and support here. But just to say, you know what, I'm going to get up and go and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was actually more of an adjustment than I thought it was going to be. Because I have family here and I've been coming here for so long, visiting them yearly over 30 years. I didn't think it was going to be as hard as it was. But it was. Yeah. I think, being on the tail end of the pandemic might have had something to do with that, because I didn't really get to do like the kind of goodbyes and farewells that I would have wanted to do with my folks back home, like my church and things like that. And then, I have a lot of family here, but the other groups, like your friend groups, your business bestie groups, like all of those things, I left. And so it was an adjustment. I'm good now. It's definitely amazing being so close to my family, because for so long I was not. So, I mean, in terms of living, we're very close. But I would be down. That's why I would be down here so often. I racked up frequent flyer miles coming back and forth to Atlanta.
That's 700 add up each time.
Yes. But it's so good to now. Like, I went from seeing my sister once every couple of months to like 3 times a day.
Oh.
So, and this is the first time we've lived in the same place in over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really nice.
So what are some of your goals that you're thinking about with this new transition? Because I know for myself, when I moved here, my whole goal was to just be who I couldn't be amongst the people who knew me to be one thing. So I guess to you, my question I want to ask is like, did you set like a new goal in your mind? Like, you know what, I'm just going to be the best version of Aisha that I could be in this new place or in this new space, and kind of reinvent the wheel, so to speak. Like, what is your new goals for?
That's so good. That's a good question. I actually didn't think about it that way, but now that you say that, I probably should have. Much of our decision to move was family related.
Okay.
So we wanted to be closer to take care of our parents.
Yeah.
Because they moved too. Like, we were literally the last ones left up north.
Yeah.
And then so that my son would have the connection to my family.
Yeah.
Be around his little cousins and aunts and all that stuff. So I was really just more so kind of thinking about how I could establish security for him. And having him feel at home, uprooting him. And, even though he was small, he still was used to what he was used to.
Right.
So trying to find new childcare and, just all that stuff. So that was really what I was thinking about. I once we decided to open a store here, my focus, of course, became on how I could make that a success, and trying to figure out how to manage 2 stores in 2 different locations.
You are doing
which has not been easy. But we're managing. So that's kind of what my goal has been. I think at the top of 2022, I was actually just scrolling through, 2023, I was scrolling through my posts, and I put at the beginning of this year that I wanted to be the best version of myself.
Really?
As a mom and as an entrepreneur and a daughter and a sister and all that kind of stuff. So, just kind of figuring out this new normal, of being close to family, having this new store, and trying to navigate all that.
Yeah. I think that that's amazing. Like, that's the most important part to me, is that people that I know myself and just learning my own behavior, is that you have to constantly keep reinventing yourself to, achieve that next level of success. It has to be a new level, because once you ascertain that, it's like, okay, I got that, but now it's going to take a new version of me to get to this next space. So that's what I was just wondering, like, how does that evolve in your mind? Like, you know what, like you said, gleaning from, I want to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So moving into, I know you have a lot of things down the pike for Sistahs In Business Expo. I just want to kind of expound on some of the expos so that people can see in this episode and see what you have going on and attend.
Yeah.
So if you could tell us something about that.
So we're excited. So we changed things up a little bit this year to do regional expos as opposed to individual cities. So, normally we would do 4 cities.
Okay.
New Jersey, Philadelphia, DMV area, South Carolina, Atlanta. And it was becoming a lot.
Okay.
Right? A lot of travel, a lot of expenses, just a lot of all the things. Because as we grew, our team grew.
Yeah.
So it was more people that had to travel and just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we shifted to a regional model. So we're Northeast and Southeast.
Okay.
And we also changed from 1 day to 2 days.
Okay.
We actually piloted the 2-day experience last year in New Jersey, and it went really well.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up is our Southeast Expo.
Okay.
So it's our conference, expo, and pitch competition all in the same weekend.
Okay.
And that's August 18th and 19th.
Okay.
And yours truly will be there.
I'm going to be in the building, y'all. See, y'all getting the nuggets. I'll be there. I'm coming. So y'all meet us there.
Yes, on the stage, dropping all the gems, snatching all the edges. Just get ready. Y'all already know how she do. Honey, I'm not even ready. So that's August 18th and 19th in Decatur, Georgia.
Okay.
And then we'll be in the Northeast in September 22nd and 23rd in Passaic, New Jersey. And it's 2 power pack days. The first day is our conference, all about teaching and training, all about giving you the actual tools and skills to help you start, grow, and scale your business.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is our expo, as everyone knows and loves, with over 100 vendors, speakers, panelists, entertainment, all that good stuff. So that's happening both days. And also on Saturday is our pitch competition, where we will award close to $10,000 in grants.
Oh, wow.
To Sistahs In Business, yeah.
Oh, that is. Y'all know I love giving. Giving is like my favorite sport.
It is. So and applications are open for all of that. So to be a vendor, to apply for the pitch competition, if you want to apply to be a speaker, all of that.
Yeah.
Sponsor, partner, all that is on our website.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, we got to get in where we fit in with that. I love giving, y'all. I'm telling you, you can't outgive God. You can't love without giving. You can't give without loving. So if somebody said they love you and they ain't gave you nothing,
they lying.
They lying. You like, well, give me that shirt. Give me something since you said you love me. But that's amazing. I wanted to bring you on to talk about some of the things. And I know we've never had relationship talk, but we cover relationships in our episodes. You are a married woman, correct?
Yeah.
So just any advice that you can give to the sisters on relationships and how to keep a man. Any advice on how to keep a man?
I trying to figure it out every day.
She done went to the back. Pray a lot. Much prayer and money.
Prayer. Listen, my mom, like I said, who was married 47 years to my dad, always told us that marriage is not easy. But that if you pray, you can get through it. So I think prayer is really essential. Of course, communication, which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you might need help with that. And so marriage therapy, couples therapy is, is really, really helpful and important. And just being like-minded and having the same big goal, right? So if we're both working towards the same thing, and we keep the main thing, then the little things are gonna come up, but don't let them become the main thing.
Yeah.
Right. Keep the main thing.
So we have a running topic this week, and this is gonna be a surprise question to you. So it's just basically asking women pretty much how do I want to say this? How do you normalize some of the imperfections that you see in your partner? Like, just basically, how do you maneuver through their ups and downs and still grow with them and be able to stay in that relationship? Because sometimes you can outgrow an individual, especially you said 47 years. That's a long time that your mother and father were growing together and meeting new versions of themselves. Like, since you've been in marriage, how does that work? Like, where you're just introduced, he wake up and say, you know what, I don't like oatmeal no more. You know what I mean? You like, but baby, I've been bringing you oatmeal for the last,
right?
You know, how do you maneuver through that?
I think it's similar to something that we say in business, which is remembering your why, right? Like why you started your business. So remembering why you married them in the first place. Assuming that you married them with good intention and for good reason, and that it was God ordained. Then again, the other stuff don't really matter. Like if I remember why I married you, because you're a good man, because you're a provider, protector, caring, loving, prayerful, all that stuff, faith-filled, right? Then hopefully none of that's gonna change.
Right
now, if some of that start changing.
That's what I'm saying. Get into
That's a different story.
Right. So if he just wake up and be like, I don't believe in God.
No, we got problems. That's gonna be an issue.
Right.
It's gonna be an issue.
Right.
But if you decide you don't want oatmeal no more, or you decide that you want to, take up bike riding or whatever, or if you're just having a bad day,
right,
and you got an attitude or whatever, I have those too, right? I think a big piece of it is remembering that you ain't perfect yourself, right? So as much as that they might get on your nerves, you probably get on their nerves.
That's the part we were saying.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the times women will deal with men and forget their grace.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, sis, you not perfect and all together either. Like, let that man have his moment, because just think about look back over your own life.
Yeah. I know I'm a piece of work, so God bless him.
Look, she had to think about it like, see, I done gave him problems. But I'm telling you, when we covered the faith, we covered just the beauty, we covered business. And one thing I do want to recap on, we kind of skipped past it. You said bringing on new staff. Mm-hmm. When you're growing, it's a lot of moving parts. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you find budget? How do you find the right people? How do you find, because when I come to your events, they are highly staffed and people are highly professional. They are delivering at the top level. How do you find these people and just say, you just pull a rabbit out the hat, I got money to pay so-and-so, I got this and that? How does that happen?
So first of all, giving honor to God who's ahead of my life. Like I said, you've been with us since day one, and I never hesitate to tell anybody that it has been my family that has supported this brand since day one. When I didn't have money to pay anybody, they came on their own dime and their own time. And still do it to this day.
Yes.
I got a little bit of money now, just a little bit, that I can help, with their expenses.
Right.
But it has been my family. And so I'm so grateful that I don't have that testimony that so many people have, that you can't work with your family.
Yeah.
Now that we have retail and the brand has multiple components and expanded, we have several family members. I have several family members that literally work for us, just volunteer for the events. But
I saw your sister too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My sister, cousins run our stores. We also have staff that is not blood family.
Right.
And so, we have just been very careful, to hire as needed. Mm-hmm. Before opening the stores, we were just contractors. So we just had contractors.
Okay.
But once we opened the stores, literally overnight, had to figure out how to become a brand that had W-2 employees and time and leave and just all that kind of stuff.
Employee handbooks and
stuff you don't even think about, And so a lot of it has been on the job training for me as a leader. Yeah. Because these are the things that people don't necessarily teach you. And because most people don't get there. And so, now we have full-time staff and we're trying to grow and add even more roles. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And so we're trying not to do too much too fast. So that we don't find ourselves in a difficult position. But it's really been the growth that has warranted the hiring.
Yeah. And I try to tell people, you just said something that was so prolific that a lot of people don't get that far. And I try to, every time I do a workshop, I'm telling them, listen, you might have worked at Walmart, but you don't understand how Walmart operates. You were just an employee there. There are shareholders, there are human resources department, there, your medical leave, like you said, paid time off, vacation time. All of that, we don't know the infrastructure that it takes to really put into being a successful business owner such as yourself. That hard work and dedication and getting different applications and automations to run your business successfully. So I just want to say kudos and applause to you for being a Black woman, making it, a fellow Black woman,
doing it too.
Making it happen, and just not even just Atlanta, Georgia, just the world, like just worldwide. And I see you going so far. Like, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man what God has for you, just because of your purity, your intention, the way that you bless people. And you could see the growth in it. You can see just how much you are expanding, and your reach, no matter where you go, whatever you put your hands to is blessed. No matter what territory you touch, is blessed. Yeah. So that is just, just a symbolization that I think that God is really moving with the Sistahs in Business Expo. I'm glad to be a part of it and to be in your company and in the audience as well, just to see the people that you bring on and how much edification that they have to your project and to your team. But where can they find you on social media? Where can everybody? Because she's like incognito, yo. I told y'all these are behind this. I be like, what is? I had to go through my thing. I said, what is Aisha name on here? And I was like, how do I find her? And
yeah. For the longest, I tried to not be in the forefront. I still try not to, but my team won't let me be great.
I can't talk either.
Exactly.
I barely post.
Exactly. So I it's almost like you got to be out there nowadays.
You have
who want to
come on out
with the name and so I'm starting to be a little okay with it. But
this big dog right here, right? This big Aisha, not the little one.
But you know why God has blessed us and our businesses, and I think it's because we understand why God chose us.
Yeah,
that it's not about us. It's not about us, and so that's why I'm always like, no, put the sisters out there, put the brands out there, put whatever, because I don't ever want the focus to be on me. I want it to be on the sisters that I've been called to serve.
Yes.
And so that's how we got here.
Yeah.
So folks can connect with us online, of course. The main website for our brand is sistahsinbusinessexpo.com.
Yes.
And sisters everywhere is spelled Sistahs. So sistahsinbusinessexpo.com. And there you can find information about the expos, about our tour, the store. You can also shop there. And then if you're looking for specific information about the Sistah Shop and how you can be a part of that, it's the sistahshop.com. And of course, SISTAH, the sistahshop.com.
Okay. And Instagram, Facebook?
Oh, yeah. So SIB Expo for Sistahs in Business Expo on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. On Facebook, it's Sistahs in Business Expo.
Okay. So, guys, she has this amazing slogan before we get out of here. She says, when my sister wins,
we all win.
Okay, period. Listen, period. When my sister wins, my sister, wins, we all win.
We all win.
Aisha, thank you so much.
Thank you
for taking this time out of your day to come here to Casey's Playpen, to be a part of Behind the Scenes Bella podcast. You were an amazing guest. We are just blessed by your presence. And one last word, I always do this, because it's my show and I do what I want to do.
That part.
One last word, if you could tell somebody like a younger version of you or somebody that is looking at you in admiration for what you've done, what would you say to them? Like, if they're in a place that I just don't know how I'm going to formulate this idea. They have the bright idea, but how do they execute? What would you say to them?
So I'll tell them two things.
Okay.
First of all, everything that you need is already inside of you, right? God already placed it in you when he crafted you in your mother's womb. And it's just a matter of uncovering it, discovering it, and putting it to use. And then the second thing I would tell them, which I forgot to mention, is I would advise them to join the Sistahs in Business University.
Yes.
We have created an entire community that is designed to help you figure it out, right? To help you navigate the world of entrepreneurship so that you don't have to do it on your own, so that you can get the support, the tools, the resources, the mentorship, the coaching that you need to successfully start your business. So that's what I would tell them.
Listen, y'all sign up for the university, okay? Go to class.
Yeah.
Don't miss no class.
That's it, right? Because we don't got to do this by ourselves.
Listen, it's so many people that have gone before us and done great things. So just get a mentor, get a teacher, get a coach, somebody that is doing big things, okay, that you look up to. This is one of them, a pioneer, a legend. You hear me, y'all? A mogul of our time. And I'm so grateful to have Miss Aisha Taylor Issa on our show to bless us. And we're going to be back here again next time, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all know I love everybody. And we'll see you next time. Bye.